Go love your own enemies. Don't be loving mine. My enemies are the theocratic fascists. I don't love them. I want to destroy them.
You're a child made in the image of God. Oh no, you're not. You're a faggot. And you can't join your church and you can't go to heaven. This is disgraceful. It's inhuman.
How is it that I am pro-choice, but I'm also pro-life? Funny how many pro-lifers there are who are foaming at the mouth, rabid eager to see a death row inmate get put to death. To me, this is a huge contradiction of what pro-life is all about. And yet, when I look at the book, many of them zealously wave about, is it any wonder how they can be this way? Now that I have had personal experience dealing with mental illness, i.e. my mother, and have watched how mental illness can completely change a person, remake them against their will into something else, I can no longer really support the death penalty, because I have read a little about various mental illnesses and impairments. I know what antisocial personality disorder, sociopath, psychopath are former terms for this. I know it's a very real thing. There are people born with either a complete lack of a conscience or a very dulled or impaired sense of one. People who have a healthy conscience cannot begin to fathom the actions of the people who do not. I had a man use me for 3 years while he lived with me, pretending to be my friend. I had another man take advantage of my depression and sexually go after me. I, having a healthy conscience, cannot begin to fathom doing this to another human being, because I am not wired that way. The same is true for people who commit horrific crimes. Regardless if they have been diagnosed as criminally insane or not, they are, just by their actions, showing themselves to be sufferers of antisocial personality disorder, something they were born with and something they can't help. For this reason, I cannot support the death penalty anymore, because it is the sterilized murder of mentally ill or impaired people. I cannot support this. Only an unevolved society would resort to murder as punishment for murder. And what's ironic is many of these supporters of the death penalty and the killing of mentally impaired people call themselves pro-life, when clearly they are not. There is a better solution out there for dealing with the mentally ill. Simply killing people to avoid trying to find that solution is reprehensible on our part and lazy. What's ironic is the very people screaming for the death of murderers are very likely sufferers of antisocial personality disorder themselves. I have read something like 1 in 4 men have this defect to some degree, and 1 in 7 women do. So of course they can yell and scream for another sufferer's death. They themselves very possibly have a conscience that is impaired. Many of these are also religious. My other reason that I am pro-choice and pro-life as well, I support birth control. I support any and all devices that reduce the number of babies born on the earth. Because I look around and I see zoos full of animals that even if they were set loose, cannot just go home, because their homes no longer exist. We have wiped out entire habitats that are now gone forever from the earth, just to create more room for parking lots, farms, strip malls, and houses. The innocent lives and the beauty that has been lost just to make more room for humans is staggering. The oceans are dying. The source for the highest percentage of oxygen needed to support life are dying because of humans. Too many humans who do not care about the future life of this world or the quality of life for the future generations. I am pro-life of the planet because I support population control. I support the pill, IUDs, the day after pill, and abortion in the first trimester. I support any and all attempts to peacefully reduce human population so that other equally deserving forms of beauty and life can continue to exist on this world. For these two reasons, I call myself pro-choice and pro-life. I wrote this little bit on my Facebook page this morning as my status update. I was just feeling rather philosophical. I saw something on Facebook that made me kind of angry, and so I wrote this. I don't like the fact that pro-choice is called pro-abortion. I don't think anybody is pro-abortion, really. Abortion is a sad thing. Even in the first trimester, it's a sad thing, but it is sometimes necessary. And considering the fact that we are smothering out the life on this planet, other life trying to survive, I think it's more and more becoming a future. Right now we have the luxury to sit around and go, oh, I think it's morally wrong to commit abortion. We have that luxury. I think we are fast approaching the time when we will not have that luxury anymore. A time will come when the entire world will be like China is now. When that day comes, assuming that we are still, what will the planet look like when that day comes? Will there be any woods anymore? Will there be any wild animals really anywhere? Or the wild animals we see running around in our cities now, like coyotes and raccoons and possums and squirrels? Maybe that's the future for other wild animals on this world. The few animals that are able to coexist in the shadows and nooks and crannies of human civilization, they'll be the ones that continue to survive. But all the other animals that can't somehow coexist in the shadows, they're just going to be gone. And we're going to have a planet crawling with humans and very little else. And when that day comes, forced abortion will be reality. People will be forced to either not have children at all or have just one child. Forced. That day is coming. That day is going to be here. And it won't even matter what your morality, whatever your sense of morality is, or what your fucking religious holy book says. It won't matter, because it will absolutely be a necessity. That day will come. Personally, I'd rather see us take responsibility and start now making efforts to curb the exploding human population before that day ever gets here, before the beauty and other life on this planet is irreparably gone. Don't even know if irreparably is the word. You can't bring something back once it's extinct. There's damage that just can't be fixed. I would personally rather see us try to stop more damage, more beauty, more deserving life. It's such an amazing thing and rarity in the universe that we're just, oh, we need a parking lot over here. Who cares what animals lose their homes? It's all for humans. Humans are all that matter. We're the superior species. This planet is here for us to use up. As long as we have that mentality, we will continue to breed like rabbits. As long as we have these religious cults telling us that women are selfish if they don't want children. Thank you, Pope Francis. As long as we have this kind of crap programming us to think that having, oh my gosh, each baby is so precious, we can't possibly... Yes, babies are precious, but there is such a thing as too much of a good thing. And it's going to kill us in the end. In the end, if we don't start taking responsibility for our future, for the health of our planet, for the future of other life on this planet, we will become extinct, just as much extinct as all these other life forms that we are taking out with very little thought or consideration. Oh, it's so sad that such and such animal doesn't exist anymore. Moving on. Well, one day that animal will be humans, and there will be no moving on.
I am absolutely convinced that the main source of hatred in the world is religion. And I think it should be religion treated with ridicule and hatred and contempt.